Glutathione is a substance that already exists in your body. It's just that until recently we didn't know how to raise glutathione levels. Now, when I talk about glutathione to a medical convention, for example, I'll put a slide on the wall with 20 or 30 different things that glutathione does inside of your cell. But for most people, if they could remember 3 things using the acronym AID, then they can really start to understand why this has such a tremendous impact on so many different pathologies. The A stands for antioxidant. The I part stands for the immune system. And finally, D, this area of detoxification.
Portons attention à chacune de ces fonctions clés séparément. D'abord, le glutathion comme antioxydant. Parce que le glutathion est l'antioxydant majeur produit naturellement par le corps, de nombreux scientifiques s'y réfèrent comme au maître antioxydant. D'ailleurs, aucun des antioxydants bien connus, tels que la vitamine C ou E, ne pourrait fonctionner normalement sans le glutathion. Pour comprendre comment un antioxydant fonctionne, il est important d'en connaître un petit peu sur les radicaux libres et sur les dommages qu'ils peuvent causer à l'organisme, connus aussi sous le nom de stress oxydatif.
A good example of oxidative stress that everybody understands is that if you get a piece of metal and you take the protective coating off a metal, that metal oxidizes. And pretty soon, if you leave that alone, that metal will get rusted and it'll bore a hole right through that metal. Or if you get a brand new apple and you take the peel off that apple, oxidative stress occurs, that apple will turn brown. Well, if you come back a week later, that apple will be a little bit mushier. If you come back a month later, there may not be an apple there. And so that's all mediated by free radical damage, what we call oxidative stress.
And these are very damaging substances which can destroy cell components in a matter of microseconds. So it's very important then that these be quenched or neutralized right away, and this is the role, one of the important roles of glutathione.
Le second rôle du glutathion est de renforcer le système immunitaire. La science en a encore beaucoup à apprendre sur le système immunitaire. Mais une chose que nous avons comprise est comment lui donner de l'énergie. Et le glutathion a littéralement été décrit comme la nourriture du système immunitaire.
To have a food product, which I think is the most important development that we've offered to people in their health, their wellness issue, probably since penicillin. So 60 years. And I don't say that lightly, because I think it's very exciting to retool or help the body do its own healing. Because that's almost always, including intensive care, what we're able to offer. We offer support systems until the body heals itself. Now we're providing it with extra building blocks.
Et finalement, le glutathion est inoffensif et efficace, un désintoxicant naturel. Il fonctionne au niveau du corps pour éliminer les toxines et soutenir les cellules et les organes.
The way it operates as a detoxifier, it links with the poison through an enzyme called conjugase. And when they are linked together, the poison becomes soluble. And if a poison is soluble, it's no longer poison. It leaves the body through the urine. For example, lead, cadmium, and all sorts of carcinogen.
We would raise glutathione levels in an emergency setting in people who are suffering from certain overdoses. And what the glutathione would do in that case is allow the person to get rid of these toxins themselves from their body. Now, I knew that this was good in acetaminophen overdose, but what most people don't understand is that glutathione is also critical for getting rid of heavy metals like mercury, like lead, like pesticides, like herbicides, like the breakdown products of cigarette smoke and automobile exhaust, and a dozen other well-recognized carcinogens in our environment.
Il est presque impossible d'exagérer l'importance d'avoir un bon niveau de glutathion. D'ailleurs, vous devez posséder du glutathion dans vos cellules pour rester en vie. Mais ironiquement, vivre dans le monde actuel réduit constamment les niveaux de glutathion. Votre corps utilise le glutathion pour faire face aux effets de stress, de fatigue, de pollution, de maladie et même de vieillissement. C'est pourquoi il est important de compléter, d'augmenter et de maintenir les niveaux de glutathion. Si vous êtes comme la plupart du monde, c'est probablement la première fois que vous entendez parler du glutathion. Et vous serez surpris d'apprendre que les scientifiques connaissent le glutathion et sa relation directe à la santé et au bien-être depuis de nombreuses années.